Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. It is that time of the year. It is the FA Cup third round draw. We're talking about Newcastle stuff, Sam Warner. Good evening to you.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm very, very good. It feels weird talking about Newcastle United stuff, doesn't it?
No, because I miss it dearly, and I've got to be honest, I don't like the World Cup so far.
Why? Why do you not like it?
I just think there's been too many dour games. They're a bit dull. It doesn't feel like a World Cup, does it? It's a bit nah. Bruno's starting on the bench again. I know he got a run out today, and he was just lush as per. Callum Wilson didn't get a run out the other day, did he? Cher's been on the bench twice for Switzerland, who obviously don't want to win a game. So I don't know. It's just there's not a lot to go on. Some games are good, but it's not. It's nothing like club football, is it?
No, it's not like club football. It is the FA Cup third round draw, and I know the one moment I think that sticks to mind with a lot of older Newcastle fans. It's only the first moment you see when you see an FA Cup third round montage. Sam, Ronnie Radford, very sadly passed away in the last couple of months. Where he scored that goal for Hereford, but it was an unbelievable strike, wasn't it? Even though it was against the mighty Newcastle United.
I know. I think Lee was there that day, but yeah,
he was logging.
It always gets rolled out in every montage, doesn't it? Yeah, it's our cross, and we've got to bear it, unfortunately. But yeah, God rest him, and hopefully there's no giant killing this time.
Yeah, I'm just going to go through some of the comments. Josh says, Sam, I also love you. Good to see you, Josh. Hope you're doing well. Steve says, Wrexham away. I'll go through all the numbers in a second for Wrexham. That would be an interesting one. The Ryan Reynolds and is it Rob? What's his surname?
Rob McElhenney.
Yeah, I couldn't have pronounced that.
The Wrexham documentary, Welcome to Wrexham on Disney, is absolutely superb.
Lewis is saying he's a member as well. If you want to become a member, the link will be in that description as well. Make sure you become a member for Newcastle Fans TV. He says, what happened to the video from last night? Basically, Lee was not very well. So we did, but I have filmed some bits and bobs. We're just in the process of doing that, so that should be in the next 24 hours. I think Lee wants to try and get something out tomorrow morning before all the England-Wales.
Did you have fun though?
I had a great time. I had a really, really good time. It was fantastic, and I'm sure you've seen the goals by now, Sam. Some incredible goals.
St James's Park has seen its fair share of filthy goals this year, and them two are right up there. Wow. Georgia Gibson is different gravy. We've had her on the channel before. We've had her on our podcast, Jonny, as you well know, because you were there. And she's a phenomenal talent, as is Charlotte Potts, as you rightly attested to when you came out of the game. And Anth Young messaged me, friend of the channel, friend of the show. He messaged me saying just a standout performance Charlotte Potts put in yesterday. Shana Wilkinson, though, it reminded me of like a Ryan Taylor strike. Just off the touchline of the left-hand side, and absolutely hammered it in, lobbed the keeper, who was caught off a line more than once. And there you have it. 1-0 down, 2-1 up. Shana Wilkinson wrapped it up.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying in the comments, because you kind of done it very nicely, Sam, where everyone's talking about Sunderland. They want Sunderland in this draw, in this FA Cup third round draw. Matt Rooms at St James's Park says, Kath. Chris says, give us those sad Mackham bastards. Andrew says, I so want the Mackhams. Chris has put sound going a bit Blair Witch Project there, like.
Yeah, I'm on my phone. It's not, and I'm not at home, so it's a bit. Yeah, I apologise if you're not offended, but if I'm disturbing you.
Well, let's go through the numbers, Sam, for this draw. This is where the Premier League and the Championship teams come in to the draw. So 44 teams, if you take the 24 Championship clubs and the 20 Premier League clubs, that makes 44. And then 20 winners from the second round make up the other 20 teams. There's only 2 replays, believe it or not. Sam, Charlton versus Stockport is one of them, and the other one was Dagenham and Redbridge or Gillingham.
Yes,
it was Dagenham, Redbridge and Gillingham.
We're Stephen Taylor in the draw as well, aren't we? We're ball 27.
We are ball number 27. I'll quickly run through them for everybody. So we've got Bournemouth number 1, Arsenal number 2, Villa number 3.
Never mind that. No. What ball is Sunderland?
What ball is Sunderland? No, Sunderland number 37. So 27, Stephen Taylor, Newcastle. 37, Hatton Ben Arthur when he first arrived at Newcastle. There you go.
Correct.
But yeah,
would you prefer? Would you prefer Sunderland at home or an away day at Sunderland?
Well, I could probably get a ticket for Sunderland away. You could.
Yeah,
I know
it's the battle. I know it's the battle of the battle of loyalty points, but just in terms of atmosphere.
Oh, it's got to be at St James's for me. I just think with everything that's happened over the last few years, 6-7 years, they laughed at us. We can have a right giggle now. And if we could beat them in the third round, oh my God. I think you can tell there's a lot of Newcastle fans really, really want, obviously that the Sunderland draw as well. Cass says, Sean has scored 40 yards from the left foot. Oh my God, it was magic. It really, really was. Jane Atlanta, great to see you, Jay. Be through with either Northeast Derby team, Middlesbrough, or the Mackhams wouldn't mind Middlesbrough away, I have to be honest. Let's have a little look. Kaiser says, I'm hoping we draw against Barnsley or Stevenage. Don't say Stevenage in front of Sam. We still get shivers. Don't you, Sam?
Both times, yeah. Yeah.
Both times, yeah. 2011 was a bad one, wasn't it?
It was bad, yeah. Very much against the run of form because we weren't bad then. But yeah, what was it, 97, 98 when we played Stevenage with Kenny. God, what a faff that was.
On this top as well.
Yeah, correct. That's right. Yeah. We ended up at Wembley that day. That season.
That day, even. Did we?
yeah, pissed as a fart. Just accidentally ended up at Wembley after a Stevenage win, or beating Stevenage rather. Yeah, and we ended up in the final that year, didn't we? If only Shearer's shot that hit the post had gone in, and it would have been 1-1, then who knew what have happened? But we ran into two very, very good sides in them two FA Cup finals in the late 90s.
We really did. Right, I'll quickly run through the numbers again. So Bournemouth number 1, Arsenal number 2, Villa 3, Birmingham City number 4, Blackburn Rovers, Alan Shearer's former side number 5, Blackpool number 6, Brentford number 7, Brighton and Hove Albion, one to avoid in my opinion, number 8, Bristol City number 9, Burnley number 10, Cardiff number 11, Chelsea number 12, Coventry number 13, Crystal Palace number 14, Everton under Frank Lampard number 15, number 16 is Fulham, 17 Huddersfield, 18 Hull, 19 Leeds United, 20 Leicester City, 21 the Holders Liverpool, 22 Luton Town, 23 Man City, 24 Man United, 25 the Borough, 26 Millwall. Josh was saying he wanted Millwall because obviously not too far away from him.
Does Josh fancy a scrap?
Does he? Oh my son.
He can blend in, yeah.
27 the mighty Newcastle United. They are number 27 in the FA Cup draw, which is going to commence very, very shortly. 28 Norwich City, 29 Nottingham Forest, 30 Preston North End, 31 QPR. Just let Nick Beale go to Rangers. 32 Reading, 33 Rotherham United, 34 Sheffield United. Number 35 is Southampton, 36 Stoke City, 37 are Sunderland, 38 Swansea City, 39 Spurs, 40 Watford, 41 West Brom, 42 West Ham, 43 Wigan, 44, not too far from your neck of the woods, Mr. Milner, are Wolverhampton Wanderers. Yeah, they're the Championship and Premier League teams. Before I go and do the rest, just briefly, Sam, there's a few teams you want to avoid, isn't there?
Yeah, for the third round, of course there is. I don't really fancy going to Anfield again. I've just still not over that defeat. But Dylan Thompson, shout out, smash it, lad. Just wrap up, and you'll be back in the Gallagher in no time, my friend.
Yeah, for people that obviously maybe can't see as much. Hi, gents, can you give a shout out to my son Dylan Thompson, big Toon fan, big Newcastle United fan, and that's all that matters. He's a big Newcastle fan. He's from Hartlepool. That's where Beth from. So that's a little shout out to Beth as well. Former season ticket holder in the Gallagher as he's in St James's Cook Hospital after brain surgery. Well, literally Gary, on behalf of everybody from Newcastle Fans TV, I'm sure Sam will echo my sentiments here. We wish your son Dylan all the very, very best, and if we can sort out a trip where you can come back to St James's and come back to see Newcastle when he's well enough, by all means we'll do all we can to do that for you. So yeah, Sam knows a lot of people. He's got some good friends, you see. So we'll sort that out. And there's a lot of people in there.
What are you getting me into?
We'll sort a ticket out for a game in the future.
You're the one with the loyalty points, not me.
Yeah, well, I'll sort one out for Dylan. As a present. hopefully when he gets better soon, because that'll be something that I'm sure that you'll be looking forward to. So Andrew Bill saying, get well soon, Dylan. Same with Lewis and same as Jay in Atlanta. Dylan Ryan, 27 versus 37, which is Newcastle versus Sunderland. And Josh says, God bless Dylan, get well soon. But yeah, so if we can give all the love to Dylan in the comments, that'd be greatly appreciated. With your predictions as well of who you want to see Newcastle face in the FA Cup. It is nearly 7 o'clock. The draw is commencing in the next 5 minutes or so.
It won't. It'll be a load of bluff and bluster, wouldn't it? And who's going to present it? Because everyone is in Qatar.
Well, that is a very, very good question. At the minute, I'm just seeing Ryland talking to somebody on Strictly Takes Two. So,
are they going to wheel out Des Lynam?
Oh, Des Lynam! What a man! What a man! I was watching a bit of him yesterday. He was talking about his broadcasting career with Gary Lineker. But it was like 20 years old.
Is it on BBC or ITV?
It's on BBC Two. At the minute, it's just about to start on ITV, Portugal versus Uruguay. We'll get to go through the last 20 teams, because there's a couple of interesting ones, actually. So number 45, Grimsby Town, we're playing black and white, of course. 46 is Wrexham, who Sam's already mentioned. 47, Accrington Stanley. Who are they?
Exactly.
Thank you very much. 48 is Fleetwood Town, managed by Scott Brown, former Celtic man. 49, Bobby Robson's former club, Ipswich Town. Number 50 is Barnsley. Number 51 is Forest Green Rovers. 52, play up Pompey, play up Portsmouth.
Oh, you don't want to go all the way down there.
53 is probably the one that Sam would want, because it's so close to where Sam lives. Shrewsbury Town is number 53.
My town of birth.
Yeah, that is your town of birth, and that was probably the one that you want. Number 53 versus number 27, I would imagine.
Wouldn't mind it.
I'm sure he wouldn't. 54, Hartlepool United, just down the road.
That'd be good.
Derby. Yeah. 55, Stevenage. I'm just shivering. 56 is either Charlton Athletic or Stockport. Apparently, they've got a replay, which will be in Stockport. 57, Boreham Wood. They beat Bristol Rovers yesterday. 58 is the other replay, Dagenham, Redbridge or Gillingham. 59 is Oxford United, who Newcastle beat a couple of years ago. And Kath has just said Strictly Take Two has just finished, so the draw is next. Can't wait. Number 60 is Sheffield Wednesday. Number 61, Chesterfield, not too far away. 62 is Burton Albion. Number 63 is Walsall, not too far away from Mr. Muller. And finally, number 64 is Derby County, who took 4 points off Newcastle in the worst ever Premier League season known to date.
Yes, they did.
Kenny Miller with an unbelievable goal against.
It was unbelievable, to be fair. And the way we just bottled that home game 2-2 as well, it's just absolute filth.
Yeah, may see in the next 5 minutes. It's actually Mr. Manish Bastin. He is commentating. He's doing the draw today at Anfield. The holders, of course, Liverpool. Chris says he's not a fan of Laura Woods, apparently, though. Still trying to work that out, Des, if I'm honest. Oh, yeah, something about not calling people by their nicknames or something, by calling them right.
Oh, load of bollocks. Laura Woods is great.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure you subscribe and like to Newcastle Fans TV as we're doing this draw. It is starting on BBC Two, so we are so close to see who Newcastle United will be facing.
What else should people subscribe to?
The Greenwood and Mulliner Show
podcast.
Exactly. We've got some fantastic guests on there as well. We've got we're trying to get a couple more sorted. I think we've got maybe
the Lee Clark interview is out tomorrow as an audio podcast. So just search Newcastle Fans TV in your podcast provider, and then the Greenwood and Mulliner Show will pop up. 5-star review and subscribe and all that jazz.
Exactly. Jay in Atlanta has says, I know there are 63 teams that are absolutely don't want to be drawn against 27. Yeah, the other 63 certainly don't. Got John Aldridge and Mark Wright.
Is it Liverpool loving again, is it, for a change?
Well, it's because Liverpool are the holders, aren't they? So they're at Anfield.
Oh, who cares? Jesus.
Alan says, who would be your preference, lad? Sam, I'll let you start. Who would you like to see Newcastle face in the third round?
A local game to me that Johnny doesn't go to, so I can have his ticket. So you're looking at your Shrewsburys, your Derbys, your Walsalls, your Coventrys, Stockport's less than an hour on the train. Wrexham's about an hour away from me as well. Your Wolverhamptons, your Chesterfield-ish. That's probably pushing it a little bit, but it'll do. Don't mind it. Who else is there?
There's
Coventry I can cope with. Birmingham City. That's rough though. Birmingham away is that's.
I don't think many teams will want. Oh, I want Newcastle. I have to be honest, but my preference, it has to be Sunderland. I would love Newcastle to face Sunderland after all the crap they've given us over the years, and with Newcastle doing so well and Sunderland not doing as well. Considering this is how embarrassing it is for Sunderland, they haven't even qualified for the third round of the FA Cup for the last 2 seasons because they've been stuck in League One and they can't get past the first and second round. This year they've got to the third round because they're in the Championship. But I wouldn't mind Leeds away, Hull away, not too far.
Somewhere where you can be back in time for tea.
Exactly.
Hartlepool could be fun.
Hartlepool could be really fun. I wouldn't mind that away from home as well. But a couple to avoid, Sam, for me. I don't want Brighton away. Don't want Bristol City away too far. Don't want Brentford away.
South Coast, forget it. Portsmouth, don't want that.
Arsenal, we've had Arsenal as well. I've been seeing the last couple of years. That was a poor game. Tottenham, Chelsea, any of the London clubs don't really want them away unless it's like a Stevenage, maybe where we can kind of think that we might be okay.
You don't want to go to City. You don't really want to go to Anfield.
Yeah. None of the massive big boys. You don't really want that at all. But
not in the third round,
no, definitely not. But yeah, like Man United's, Man City's, I think everybody be think. I think with Newcastle fans, we think just not Man City away because this is a big opportunity for Newcastle. You look how we're doing in the League Cup. Sam, obviously a home draw against Bournemouth to come just before Christmas, which could end up being a quarter-final before Christmas, which would be lovely. But obviously, there's still a little bit of work to do. But
have that day off work.
Yeah, well, the FA Cup is such a big thing for Newcastle fans. It's the one trophy I'd love to see us win because I've never seen Newcastle United. I've seen Newcastle United get to the semi-finals, but that was like in 2004 we got beat off Man United.
Yeah, it carries more prestige, the FA Cup, than the Carabao Cup, doesn't it? So it matters more, but I'd love a Carabao as well. Well, not the drink because it tastes like rancid apple.
No, Monster. We want Monster, don't we, Stan?
Yes, we do. I've got to be honest, I absolutely detest energy drinks in any way, shape or form, but Monster.
It was funny, someone said only Newcastle United could have an energy drink sponsor for Monster and probably end up being the ground sponsor will end up being Red Bull or something. You can just imagine something like the Red Bull powered by St James's Park.
No one likes Red Bull.
No. Let's have a look. It's on BBC Two now. It says Gary Thompson, Hartlepool, St James's would be the dream for me. I'm not going to say what it is, but he's going to try and get us on this. I'd take the Milk Cup if it's on offer. But yeah, it's obviously, I think it's the one draw that everyone can kind of get up for as the third round because obviously with the magic of the
historic
prestige,
teams,
it is, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. It's the most. Obviously, the Premier League's just a behemoth now, but hasn't got the history that the FA Cup has. So it's arguably the most prestigious trophy in English football. So the third round special, obviously, it's got a tremendous history of giant killings and who knows how far these smaller teams can go. And there's a fairy tale in there every year. So it's a great occasion. Everyone loves the third round of the FA Cup. And we can as well, because it's been years that, like, the FA Cup, we used to dread the FA Cup because we knew we weren't going to give it a go. Things are different now. So it's the first time we've really been looking forward to this third round FA Cup draw for many a year.
Yeah, we really have. And if I remember me and my dad went to an FA Cup game nearly 10 years ago now, where Newcastle took on Cardiff City at home in the third round. We lost 2-1. And Lloyd Remy, who had been scoring so many goals on the bench, was only brought on with about 8 minutes to go. And there was, honestly, I've never seen boos at St James's Park because that was a real, it was a real chance because Newcastle was certainly safe. They were in the top half and it just went downhill after that.
That was Pardiola, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Pardiola as well. Cass asking when the women's FA Cup draw is, I'm not 100% sure, but if we can find now as well. So, so if Sam finds out, that'd be brilliant if we find out who the winner again.
It's on TalkSport 2.
So it'll be across all our socials as well. But again, congratulations to Becky and the lasses yesterday. A big win, 2-1 winner, and Charlotte Potter that she did with NUFC TV as well. She is like the female equivalent of Sven Botman. Absolutely unbelievable yesterday. So calm, so colossus, and quite an emotional interview on NUFC TV.
She's got an incredible history. She's had some journeys. She's 28 years old now, and
great age. Because I'm
28. Great age. She plays phenomenally well, and we need to get her tied down because I tell you what, she might not be here for very long if we don't tie her down.
Yeah, 100%.
To a
I've been
contract.
reliably informed. I've been reliably informed that the FA Cup draw will take place in the next 2 minutes. So it's not long until we find out who Newcastle will face. Again, get your predictions in. Who would you like to see Newcastle United take on? A lot of people have been saying Sunderland, Middlesbrough, Hartlepool, the North East teams to avoid. For me, would be Man City. That would be the worst one. Or Brighton. Brighton away would be a horrible, horrible draw for me as well. But I think regardless, I'm sure Lee will make the trip, whoever Newcastle United face in the third round of the FA Cup. Get well soon, Lee Lawler, as well, because he has been under the weather. He's a little bit better today. But that's why he wasn't at the women's match yesterday, which is why there's a slight delay in the video. But it will be out imminently, if not late tonight. It might be out tomorrow morning. Jay has said, we haven't played Middlesbrough since 2009-10 season. Love an old school North East game. I was actually, my first ever away game was Middlesbrough versus Newcastle at the Riverside. Can you remember the score, Samuel? Can you remember who scored for Newcastle that day?
Was it 1-1?
No, it was not.
Or was that the 2-0 win where Harewood and Shola scored?
That was at St James's.
Yeah, I got mixed up. Borough away in the championship season.
Gordon Strachan was the Borough manager that day.
Yeah, because he replaced Gareth Southgate, didn't he?
Whatever happened to him, Sam? Whatever happened to him?
Don't know. He's the Steve Bruce of the Snapchat generation. What was the score? I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm trying to go through my mind palace, but I can't think. Was it 2-1?
No, it was Desmond.
That was going to be my next guess.
Yeah, it was 2-2.
Did Shola score?
No, he didn't. Newcastle took the lead early on through Peter Lovenkrands. Borough scored 2. McDonald. And then 5 minutes from the end, Andy Carroll rescued a point for Chris Hughton's Newcastle United. But I always remember, as we're walking back out, the song of "We Will Meet Again." Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet some sunny day. We're still waiting for that sunny day.
Yeah, of course, because when they went up, we went down, didn't they? So we didn't play him in the Prem.
Yeah, that's
and vice versa.
Yeah. Andy Hogg says Wrexham, Ryan Reynolds' team. They've been mentioned a couple of times as well. And Manish has just said that the FA Cup draw is about to start, so they are crossing over line.
Have the balls dropped?
The balls have not dropped.
Oh.
A sentence that I'm sure not many people wanted to hear right now. But I've just seen a Wrexham goal against Arsenal. Ronnie Radford's goal has just arrived as well against Newcastle United. So the draw is imminent. Harry Redknapp talking about Bournemouth beating Manchester United. Sutton versus Coventry. Sam will know all this very, very well by now. Let's see who is doing the draw. Is it Manish? Is he staying at Anfield to do the draw? It is Manish doing the draw. So here we go. Will it be Mark Wright and John Aldridge? I'm assuming so, because they'll be the ones that Manish has been talking to. I'm sure they were just getting prepared imminently before. So yes, it's going to be very, very interesting, this, because obviously Liverpool being the holders, they don't really take this competition seriously until about the quarterfinals, Sam, as well, Liverpool. So they did well to win it last year on penalties against Chelsea. Can everybody remember who Newcastle got beat off last season in the FA Cup?
No, we don't want to.
No, we don't want to either. It was Cambridge United, of course. Then a slight substitution. Mark Wright is doing the draw, but Rachel Brown-Finnis is doing the draw alongside Mark Bright.
It's only Cambridge and Liverpool that have beat us at St James's Park since Eddie Howe, isn't it?
Yeah, Ironside with the goal for Cambridge United that day. Interesting fact about him.
Sports
Newcastle
Newcastle.
United fan. Yep. So that is interesting as well. But yeah, Mark Wright. God, who's he playing for there? He's playing for England on that one, obviously, but obviously he played for Liverpool for a number of years. I'm assuming, I was going to say he must have won the FA Cup with Liverpool because he was playing for them in the 80s, and that's when Liverpool used to win a lot of their stuff.
Can you not start the Liverpool loving as well, please? I can't stand them. So move on.
No, do you know what it was? I always went after the way they treated us at the end of that Liverpool when we got beaten off them in the last minute. That was a tough video to do. Very much a tough video to do. But
you still swooned over what's his face from the Redmen afterwards. But whatever, so he couldn't have bothered you that much.
You've got to be nice to people, haven't you? Why are they taking so long to put some balls in a bloody container?
Can't rush these things.
I don't know. They're trying to rush it. They've only got. I'm sure. What time do they finish? I'm sure it finishes at 7:30. Yeah, they've got Mastermind in about 15 minutes.
Oof. What would your specialist
subject be?
Yeah.
FA Cup draws. Chris says, have the balls dropped? Yeah, what they used to say when they heard walking in the air. Yes, I'm sure. Again, make sure you drop a like on this. Drop a like on this video. Hey, class, absolutely mint. Rachel Brankfinis is just basically saying that Eddie Howe's got a fantastic Newcastle United team. Can't believe they're third in the league, and I'm sure they're going to win the league because Miguel Neron is on fire. That's obviously with the television being on mute. Man City beat us 4-0 at home under Howe. That was in December 2021.
Yeah.
They just obviously got a few numbers up saying those are the traditional big six, along with Wrexham, Bournemouth, Dagenham and Redbridge, or Gillingham or Chesterfield as kind of teams or numbers to watch out for, if you like.
Well, I'm not watching it, so I'm reliant on you.
Well, I will give you each draw as it happens, and then I'm going to type in a team because you like this league when you're watching this back. On the banners, I've got somebody v Newcastle in one banner and Newcastle v somebody in another. Honestly. Here we go. The balls are going in the container.
The balls have dropped.
Through this. The balls, they haven't yet. They're very, very close. They are now. Rachel Brankfinis has got the bag.
Dropped her balls?
I hope not. Because that would be an interesting one. Chris is saying, I wonder how many sides I'm thinking. I don't want Newcastle. Well, here we go. Mark Wright will be drawing the home side. And Rachel Brankfinis will be drawing the away side to this third round of the FA Cup. Here we go. Rachel Brankfinis is just giving the balls a stir. And now Mark Bright has picked the first team out. Will it be Newcastle versus Sunderland? Who's the first team out? It is number 30. And that is Preston North End at home against...
that would be Freddie Woodman.
17. That's not Newcastle. It's Huddersfield Town North Championship affair, which is going to be not on television.
Freddie Woodman's Tash for Movember.
Middlesbrough out at home against number 8. Brighton have been avoided. That's not bad.
That's all right. Yeah. Freddie Woodman's Tash is a thing to be admired for Movember. If you go on his social media, it's lush.
Chesterfield are out next, number 61.
Don't mind it.
Us. It's number 41, and that is going to be West Bromwich Albion. So Chesterfield versus West Brom.
Oh, West Brom would have been all right, actually. Away.
Yeah, definitely. Here we go. Number 23, Manchester City at home. The Premier League champions will be taking on number 12, which is Chelsea. Manchester City versus Chelsea. Newcastle for Man City or Chelsea. Buzzing with that. Next out, Charlton or Stockport. Obviously a replay at Stockport, and they're going to be taking on number 63. That is not Newcastle United. That's Walsall, so you're not going to get that.
Oh, that's not 2 out. I wouldn't have minded Stockport. Charlton can swivel.
57, Boreham Wood, who beat Joey Barton's Bristol Rovers. They are taking on number 47. And that is Accrington Stanley. Who are they?
Yeah, exactly. I'd be disappointed if I was Boreham Wood.
There's a few laughs there. Boreham Wood are a bit gutted because obviously they were at home. Next out, Tottenham at home. We beat them early on in the season. Not going there this time round, number 52. Portsmouth, the Harry Redknapp derby. Tottenham versus Portsmouth.
The Nico Cranchar derby.
The Jermaine Defoe derby.
The Peter Crouch derby.
Number 64, Derby County.
Don't mind it.
50. Barnsley, go to Derby. Yeah. Next up, number 11. That's Cardiff City.
No, good drinking time though, Cardiff.
You're not going to Cardiff, Sam, because Leeds United are Cardiff versus Leeds. Oh, that's a bit spicy.
Oh, you're not going to Leeds.
I know, it's a bit spicy in the library. Number 7 is Brentford at home against number 42, West Ham, London derby.
That's all right. They would have been pain in the ass to get to.
Number 1, AFC Bournemouth under Gary O'Neill now, not Marcelo Bielsa.
Don't want to go there.
Not going there. It's number 10, Burnley.
Okay.
Derby. It's the Eddie Derby, Sam Mulner.
Yeah.
Who's next? 13, Coventry City
Don't mind it.
Far. Don't mind it. It's not us, though. It's number 46, and that is Wrexham. So we've avoided Wrexham as well.
Oh, that's a shame.
Shame, yeah. It's a shame. Number 28, nearly Newcastle United. It's Norwich City. Don't want that.
Don't want to go to Norwich. That's a pain in the arse to get to.
Blackburn. Blackburn Rovers fans are going to feel that pain.
Oh,
Norwich.
sorry, John Dahl.
Very sorry. Number 3, Aston Villa at home.
Good evening.
Number 55, Stevenage. Villa versus Stevenage.
Come on, Stevenage.
Number 22, Luton Town.
I don't want to go to Luton.
You're not going to Luton. It's number 43. It's Wigan Athletic, an all-championship affair there as well. Colo Torre apparently taking that job. 59 is next up. Oxford United, we've done that trip. Well, Lee Lawler certainly has. It's a long, long way. But Arsenal are doing it this time round. It's Oxford United versus the Gunners.
Oh, it's not long for them.
Side. No, it's not. Not too far for them at all. Next up, number 48, Fleetwood Town. Not too far. Not too far at all. They're taking on number 31, which is QPR. That's not going to be anywhere near any television screens, I don't think. Next up is number 21, the reigning holders of the FA Cup, Liverpool.
Don't want them.
Taking on 44, I think that's Wolves. It is Liverpool versus Wolves.
That's okay.
Not the draw that I don't think Wolves fans would have wanted, nor Liverpool fans, if I'm being
Newcastle and Sunderland still haven't come out.
Not yet. Number 45, Grimsby Town. Not too far. Number 62, that's not going to be us. Burton Albion, Grimsby Burton. But Newcastle and Sunderland still in the FA Cup draw at the minute. Number 6, Blackpool. Oh, I think a few fans would like that one. Number 29, I think that's Nottingham Forest. It is Nottingham Forest. So Blackpool versus Nottingham Forest. There's not many balls left. Who's next? Number 58. Dagenham and Redbridge or Gillingham. I think Dagenham and Redbridge are one of the lowest sides left in the draw. Number 20 for them is Leicester City. Not a bad one to have out, really. Leicester are a bit of a tricky team for most teams.
They're getting their act together, aren't
they? Yeah. Number 51 is Forest Green Rovers. Got promoted to League One last season. Of course, they did. And they're going to be taking on at number 4, which is Birmingham City. I think that could be a chance for an upset there.
Yeah.
Forest Green against Birmingham. Number 9, Bristol City. They're from the Championship. Don't have the best record on the FA Cup. Number 38, Swansea City. It's getting close. Shrewsbury are still in there, Samuel.
Oh, yes.
Number 54 is Hartlepool United. I would love this one. Oh, so close. 36, Stoke City. Nearly Sunderland. Getting close. Hartlepool versus Stoke. That's a good draw for Hartlepool. I think they'd like that. Who's next in the draw? Hull City from the Championship.
That's not too far.
Number 16, Fulham. It's getting to that stage, Sam,
it is for them.
The teams are getting lower and lower on the screen of the television, and there's still Newcastle and Sunderland. Number 14, Crystal Palace. Against 35, Southampton, all Premier League affair. 12 teams left in the draw. Who's next? 26, Millwall. This is the one that Josh wanted, Millwall.
Stone Island at the ready.
Against number 34, Sheffield United.
Oh.
10 teams left. Who's next? 53, Shrewsbury. The one I think Sam wanted.
Oh.
37, Sunderland are going to Shrewsbury.
Oh, no, that's not what I wanted.
Not certainly not what you wanted. Who's
Come
next?
on, Salah.
Number 60 is Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough. Against number 27, Newcastle United.
We're going to Sheffield. That's in between. That's in between us, isn't it? That's directly in between where we are. What was the score when we last played Sheffield Wednesday?
Sheffield Wednesday. At Sheffield Wednesday, we got beat 2-1.
Was it 3-1?
No, it was 2-1. I was there.
It was 2-1, but we got a consolation that we really didn't deserve. Go on. What you're doing now, ladies and gentlemen, is you're
there you
witnessing.
go. It's not. I've deleted the other one by mistake.
We're away.
I've just missed the cup. We are. I got it wrong way round. Who cares? Reading, Watford. I don't know who Man United got. I'm not gonna lie. Everton, Man United, Everton at Old Trafford. There you go. So missed.
But you've got it the wrong way. People are going to comment.
Care.
People are going to comment and say, Newcastle Fans TV can't even do a banner properly.
Ipswich versus Rotherham is the last draw out of the FA Cup, third round. Newcastle going to Hillsborough. They're going to play Sheffield Wednesday. That'll be on telly. That will be on telly.
Possibly. I think that'd be, looking at it from a neutral's perspective, that's a chance for an upset. If you think about it, our record isn't great there.
I think Sheffield Wednesday fans will love that. I'm just going to quickly run through the draw. Preston, Huddersfield, Middlesbrough, Brighton, Chesterfield, West Brom, Man City, Chelsea, Sound. That's a good one. Charlton or Stockport versus Walsall. Boreham Wood versus Accrington Stanley. Tottenham, Portsmouth. That's a good draw for Portsmouth fans. Derby versus Barnsley. If you're just watching though, Newcastle going to Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday. That reminds me of Rafa bringing. John Joe Shelby nearly scored from the halfway line, actually.
He did, yeah. I mean, the thing is as well now, like, obviously times have changed, positive energy. You know, we're going for these cups now, aren't we? We're going to be going for these cups. We're not going to be resting too many players. They'll obviously make changes to the 11, of course he will. But we can go there full of positivity. I mean, from a neutral's perspective, and from a Sheffield Wednesday perspective, you'd want a Premier League team at home, and you'd fancy yourselves with a bit of FA Cup magic sprinkled on. But you know, we can go there and hopefully get a result and get in the hat for the next round.
Yeah, Cardiff versus Leeds, Brentford West Ham, Bournemouth Burnley, Eddie Howe Derby, Coventry Wrexham, Norwich Blackburn, Villa versus Stevenage, Luton versus Wigan. What a draw that is for Oxford United at home to Arsenal. I think they've won the FA Cup the most amount of times in its inception. Fleetwood versus QPR, Liverpool at home to Wolves, Grimsby Burton, Blackpool Forest, Dagenham, Redbridge or Gillingham versus Leicester City, Forest Green Rovers versus Birmingham, Bristol City, Swansea, Hartlepool just down the road, of course. They're at home to Stoke City. And then just finally there, Hull versus Fulham, Crystal Palace versus Southampton, Millwall versus Sheffield United, Shrewsbury versus Sunderland. The next draw out was Sheffield Wednesday, Newcastle. That is how close it was. We were basically
fucking fuming. I'm fucking fuming.
A ball away. Sheffield Wednesday versus Newcastle United at Hillsborough, Man United, Everton, Reading, Watford, and then Ipswich versus Rotherham United. Sheffield Wednesday, we don't know a lot about them, Sam, but just to briefly finish up on this FA Cup third round draw. If I offered you that before ball was picked out, would you have taken that Sheffield Wednesday away?
I don't know, probably not. But I mean, I'm not disconsolate or I'm not full of rage. It's one of them that when you look at the dream ties that you want, that's obviously not one of them. But it's broadly fine. As I say, we've not got the best record there at all. But we're not the same Newcastle United we were, a couple of years ago now. So we can go there full of positivity and hopefully pick up the result and get Sunderland or Shrewsbury in the next round.
The one thing I will say about Sheffield Wednesday, you're probably going to get a bigger allocation because of being a cup.
Yeah,
so
it's good ground, historic ground.
It might be a chance for fans that maybe can't get to as many away games that might think, oh, well, it's not too far away, depending on when the game is. I would be very, very surprised if this game is not picked for television. You normally get 6 games that get picked for television in the third round. Man City, Chelsea is going to be one. Oxford versus Arsenal. Man United, Everton. I think they're 3 shoo-ins. I think Sheffield Wednesday, Newcastle's a shoo-in, actually. I think that's 4 games that you're going to definitely see on telly. But depending on when it is, obviously, if it's not like a Friday, well, who knows? I think a lot of people would mind a Friday night out in Sheffield, I suppose. But it's easy to get a train to as well. So I'm sure we'll try and see if we can get a few people.
If they're not on strike.
Who do you think you are, Mick Lynch?
Good dude.
I like him.
I like him. Good dude.
Last bit on Newcastle then. It's a hectic period straight after. the World Cup, of course. Obviously, Bournemouth on the 21st, then we've got Leicester, Leeds, Arsenal, and then this game against Sheffield Wednesday. Before we play Sheffield Wednesday and we have those 3 Premier League games, how many points do you think Newcastle can get? So
it's tricky. It's tricky, isn't it? Because it depends on how far Brazil go. Although Bruno's not getting many minutes, will he be shoved straight back in the side after coming back from the World Cup? Same could be said with the England lads as well. Trippier is the only real Newcastle player that's got a lot of minutes so far. So will we be at full stretch? Leicester's going to be tough now. Maybe it's going to be a lot tougher than it might have been a couple of months ago. Leeds at home, you've always got to back yourself to win your home games. And the other one is, do we play Arsenal away before the FA Cup?
Arsenal away. So Arsenal's on a Tuesday night.
Arsenal away is going to be very, very tough indeed. They're absolutely flying, aren't they? They keep getting these results no matter what. And again, our record there isn't the best. So it's going to be tricky. But so Leeds, you got to be looking at a home win and then getting something from the Leicester game, hopefully.
I think the one thing that you hear a lot of Newcastle staff, Newcastle players, Newcastle management with any draw, make sure it's a home draw. Make sure it's a home draw. Yes, it's away from home against Sheffield Wednesday, but it's only 2.5 hours away. We might even fly down to Sheffield, who knows? And then there will be changes, but it'll give the likes of, players that aren't getting a lot of minutes on the pitch, and you might see the likes of, I don't know, an Elliot Anderson maybe get a start. You might see saint-maximin. You might see Isak if he hasn't got a lot of minutes. It might get to see some of those players playing. The thing is, Sheffield Wednesday, I can imagine that being close to capacity because of who they're playing. So should be a good cup game all round. But finally, Sam, did Newcastle progress to the 4th round?
Yeah.
I think they do as well. I don't think it'll be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it won't. It won't be easy. It won't be easy. It won't be easy, but we should come through it. Of course, we've got training camp to come as well, haven't we, in Saudi? Hopefully Lee's got over his sniffles and got his passport sorted.
I think he has. He will be doing the trip to Saudi. So we'll have some videos from Saudi Arabia from Newcastle's training camp. In the next
could have paid for the rest of us to come.
Oh no, disgrace. Right, well, I think we'll wrap things up here. So Newcastle United, if you've missed it, and you can see it on your screen right now, they're not at home to Sheffield Wednesday.
See it on the screen now. Ignore it, flip it, and then pay attention because we're away.
We're away to Sheffield Wednesday. It's the first weekend of the new year because obviously we play at Leeds on Saturday. Pardon?
Always the same.
Always the same. It's always been a tradition. So the 3rd round, Sheffield Wednesday versus Newcastle. Likelihood is that me and Lee will definitely be there. We might even see if Sam wants to come along. Who knows? If he gets a permission slip. But yeah, from myself,
a ticket
and a permission slip. There we go. From myself and from Mr. Muller, big thanks to him. We'll see you all very soon.
Bye-bye.